Welcome back, everybody. And I guess I'm saying the same thing about me. Welcome, welcome back, Greg, to the Washington Football Maniacs. I've been gone for a few weeks, and I didn't realize how long I had been gone. I apologize for that. It's been a myriad of reasons, not one particular reason. As you can probably hear, sounding a little nasally, a little under the weather. I've been sick for almost 2 weeks. I'm finally getting over it. Thank God. Um, just had um, just had a week or two where things were so busy at work and just so much and I wanted I feel bad because I really wanted to cover a lot more with the draft. Last year, Brandon and I, we kind of did a whole draft thing. It was a little bit easier last year because the Commanders were picking second overall as opposed to 29th overall. And to be honest with you, I was so sick that night. I was basically in the bed asleep. I think I woke up long enough to watch the Commanders pick their 29th pick. Then I kind of went back to sleep after that. So, and shoot, the even the night after that, second and third round, slept through the whole thing. So goes to show you, folks, when you get hit by the sick bug, it really gets to you. But thank you for everybody for supporting the channel, and thanks to Brandon Scott who has stepped in and just did an excellent job while I was away. I really appreciate him. He's a good friend, good partner in all this. So, that being said, though, let's talk about the draft picks. Okay, so I know that Brandon kind of went over a couple of these guys, but we're just going to kind of quickly go over our draft picks here. I felt that Washington, for the few draft picks that they did have, I felt like they knocked it out of the park. Um, Especially the Trey Amos pick. I really liked that pick. Um, and I kind of felt that going into the second, third rounds and so forth, even though we didn't have a third round pick, that I felt that that was really where you're going to see Washington drafting a lot of their starters this year. I actually was not quite sure if Washington was going to be able to even find anybody in the first round to fit needs and stuff like that. I kind of thought they would just trade out of the first round, but seemed like all those trades kind of fell through, and so they wound up picking Josh Connerly Jr., who's an offensive tackle now. He's a left tackle at Oregon, but he was solid. I think he only allowed maybe like 3 sacks, and so he had been very solid. He played 13 games, as a reserve on special teams in 22. 23 is honorable mention, all Pac-12 conference, started all 14 games at left tackle. And 2024, third team Associated All-Press, All-American, first team All-Big Ten. Oregon was a finalist for the Joe Moore Awards. Started all 14 games at left tackle. So he's going to be an excellent addition to this offensive line, which did improve last year. But now that we've got Tunsil, who will secure that left tackle spot, Carnley will come in and play that right tackle spot, probably make Brandon Coleman. I'm assuming he'll probably wind up being more of a swing tackle, maybe putting him in guard, um, especially since Cosme is going to be out possibly for a while. Don't know really how much longer. I know the last time that I heard that Cosme was actually making really good progress and ahead of schedule. So let's see what happens with this. But I'm excited, man. These are not sexy draft picks when you're trying to beef up the trenches, but these are necessary picks. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, you look at a lot of teams who are very successful, um, consistently in the league. It starts up front. I mean, heck, if you go back to when the Redskins were going through their glory years, what was the one big thing that remained constant throughout all of those seasons? It was a fantastic offensive line. It was the Hogs. And so that's what you do to in order to build this team up is you got to start from the trenches. The trenches games are won and lost in trenches. I think we've all heard this. And so my hats off to um, Adam Peters for this pick. I think it was a great pick. And then in the second round, like I said, we needed a corner, and everybody was just jumping up and down. Felt this was a fantastic pick in Trey Amos. He played in all 11 games as a reserve in 2020, 21, played 12 games with 2 starts, 22, led the team with 8 uh, pass breakups, played in 11 games with 10 starts, 23, played in all 14 games with 1 start, 24, first team all SEC. It pays to stay in school, doesn't it? You just when you're looking at this, you see a progression of how much better that these players get as they stay in school. First team all SEC, tied for the lead, or the team lead with 3 interceptions. Started all 13 games, 50 tackles. Transferred to Ole Miss to in part to play for Pete Golding, who recruited Amos to Alabama before heading to Ole Miss for the 23 season. Trey Amos can play on the outside, so that means that we have the luxury now that we can move Sandstrill on the inside. Of course, we've got Lattimore back there as well. This, I'm telling you, this secondary went from a liability to now I feel like possibly it could be one of the best secondaries in the league. I mean, um, you getting guys like this who can come in and play. No more Emmanuel Forbes or anything like that. Just some solid players like this who has had um, 5 years playing in college. So um, I'm excited. Again, Adam Peters picking some good guys. Fourth round, we pick up wide receiver. Uh, from my Hokies, Virginia Tech, Jalen Lane. Again, he played 5 years. Went to Middle Tennessee State for 3 of those years. Of course, then goes to Virginia Tech. Um, and 24 is the third team All ACC. Um, Going to be a punt returner or kick returner, and I think this is where they were trying to look at Lane, someone who could come in and be a kick returner for us. And again, I'm always excited anytime that we can have Hokies. I'm a big Virginia Tech fan. A lot of my friends went to Virginia Tech. Um, I lived close to the area, loved it. Never went myself, but always felt I was part of it. Had family who went to it. Have family who teaches there. So yeah, I'm a Hokie bird. Okay, so I just love it. Anytime that a fellow Hokie is on the team, I'm excited about it. Um, we go into the sixth round with Kane Medrano, a linebacker. Um, I know that um, we have a pretty good, solid um, group of linebackers on the team. But again, when you're looking at these guys, you're looking at guys who have played several seasons in college. So they're team captains. They got honorable mentions. They're, uh, you know, uh, all team conference type of guys. And these are kind of the guys that Adam Peters mentioned that he was looking for. And so Kane is just another one of those guys. Third team All Big Ten, led the team with three. What was FF? Was FF? I don't know. Anyway, um, started all 12 games. Greg, you need to know your football. 72 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 return for touchdown, 4 pass breakups, team captain. Again, these are the things that Adam Peters was looking for. Then finally, the 7th round, we got a running back. This was another area where supposedly, the Commanders need another running back because we don't know how much longer Austin Eckler is going to be on the team. Brian Robinson, not quite 1,000-yard rusher, needs somebody who can be kind of explosive. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who was a running back out of Arizona, of course. The big deal with him was because of this mix-up during his redshirt freshman year, I believe it was. I think he played like 4 games. Apparently, somebody else came in with, wearing his same jersey. They thought he played over the game limit, and so he was not allowed to play his that last year. But he was still around the team. He was still worked out. Got some great highlights. He's an explosive guy. Looks like just from what I saw of Ja'Cory, it seems like that he has a very good sense of vision of the holes that are going to open up for him. And then once he sees he takes off, there's no dancing around or anything like that. He can juke, but he's very good at finding little cracks in the defense to run through and just anticipation of the holes opening up for the running lanes. So I'm excited. I mean, not many picks, what, 5 picks that we had, but 5 high quality picks. And, I would rather have 5 high quality picks than 10 picks in which maybe 2 out of the 10 actually make it. And it seems like that's what we have had going on, for a while until this regime has come in and we're starting to see guys stick. Another thing, of course, certainly is Sean Taylor's son, who is going to come on to rookie tryouts. I know everybody's excited about that. We hope that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. We'd love to see this guy make the team. Love to see him play like his father did. His father was just a generational player. And let's hoping that the younger Taylor can come in and play well, make the team. I have to say, if he doesn't make this team, hope he makes any other team except for any team in the NFC East. That's all I care. All right. Just, Philadelphia, don't even try to snatch him up. But anyway, overall, I probably give this right now way too early score. I give it a B plus, just because we couldn't find an edge rusher. All the edge rushers kept coming off the board way before that we were able to get a pick in. Would have liked to have seen some more picks. But overall, I think when time came, we picked the players that we needed. We needed a corner. We got a corner. We needed more help on the offensive line. We got that. We got a running back. We got a wide receiver who can be a quality kick return for us. So overall, I think it was a solid B plus. But you usually have to wait about a couple of years afterwards to really get a good feel of how that draft is. So moving forward from the draft to other news, stadium news. We'll talk more about this in upcoming videos, but seems like it's announced. Everybody wants to say it's official that the Washington Commanders are going back to DC to RFK. they're coming home. Now, of course, the only thing is, it's been said the name is sticking. They're not even going to worry about changing the name. Definitely not going back to the Redskins. Um, that's to a lot of people's chagrin, but um, Washington is heading home. Now, it's not yet official because the DC Council, you got to get 7 out of what, 12 or 13 council members to vote yes for this. There's already been some council members who have voted no. Um, but overall, I do feel like it's going to pass. I think, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be a done deal. The stadium will open in 2030. Don't know how expensive tickets are gonna be. People are already talking about it, talking about that, was that fee, that license fee to own your seats. Um, I've never had season tickets anywhere, so I really don't have a dog in that fight. But I guarantee you, I'm gonna have to go to the first game. Um, I think everybody who has ever been a Washington fan is going to need to try to get to that first game. Um, may have to save for years. Probably going to take me 5 years to save up for one ticket, but I'm going to have to be there. Really, really do. I'm going to have to be there. That being said, I'm excited. I think that's where they belong. Um, I would have said before I was in favor of Virginia. Why? Well, number one, I'm from Virginia, but two, anywhere that where it's closer for me to go, I'm fine. But I think overall, I never got a chance to go and see Washington play at RFK. And so, while that, I stuck with that team week in and week out on TV, never got to really go see them in person. So I think being able to go to see them back in DC, back in RFK, where I feel like they belong, that's ultimately what I want, and I think that's ultimately what, the large majority of, Washington football fans want, and so I'm excited now. There's already been some rendering of what the stadium may look like, you know, seen some rendering, some concepts of course, on the inside, having a glass dome, which I think is pretty sweet, overlooking, um, the Washington, was that the Washington, Memorial? Is that what it was looking at? So, that I mean, that's pretty sick. Um, I know, some other people have renderings of the old, neoclassical, type of stadium where it kind of fits in with the rest of the architecture in DC, which I think actually I'm in favor of. For it to kind of blend in and to be a part of the rest of the architecture in DC, that is honestly what I would vote for. But I know there's been some other renderings as well. We won't know. Number one, it's got to officially get approved, and two, we got to really start getting some hardcore. Renderings of what they have agreed of what the stadium's gonna look like. It's gonna be a lot of infrastructure built up around it as well. So, I know folks are talking about the traffic. They're talking about how much is it gonna, come out of taxpayer money. Um, it sounds like, the Harris Group is funding 3/4 of this. So, not as much as what you see in other areas that build these stadiums for professional leagues. So, I think you're in a good spot. You certainly have an ownership group who's cognizant about this. They also realize there's a thought about how much that these tickets are gonna cost is gonna price the common man out. Now, I know that Josh is looking at ways of keeping the tickets as inexpensive as possible. I mean, it's gonna be expensive anyway, we know that. Um, Overall, I think the only concerning thing is the parking, but I can tell you, you're probably gonna have access to the metro. There's talk of, um just some infrastructure put in place for ride sharing, and so I think they're going to work all that out. I mean, I go to Carolina Panthers games because, Charlotte's only like an hour and a half away, and I'm telling you there's no parking at all. So you have to park in a parking garage, you know, down, uh, down the road, down the street, gotta walk, and, so I'm used to that. I'm not used to I've been to FedEx a couple of times, but, um, they also talk about a place where you can tailgate. Probably not gonna be as big of a place to tailgate, so, I'm sure it's gonna work out. Again, having been to Panthers games, I kinda understand the deal of no parking, and so I'm kinda used to that. I mean, chances are I'm probably gonna wind up taking parking my car somewhere in Virginia, getting on the metro, and riding up to the game anyway. I think that would probably be uh, the best thing for me since I'm coming up from Carolina. But having said that, I am psyched about this. I mean, look at all of the positive changes that are going on with this team. From the sale of the team, um, from you know picking up Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, to drafting Jaden Daniels, to going to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1991, and now a new stadium coming soon. Well, 5 years. Um, the only thing that's left is a Super Bowl, and I hope that Super Bowl doesn't come, like after we get into the new stadium. Want to see that Super Bowl before we get into the new stadium. So I'm excited, folks. We got a lot of great things coming our way for this team. But overall, man, I enjoyed the draft, when I was awake enough to be able and, to see it, getting me and sick. I'm excited about everything that's going on, but we will talk a little bit more about these draft picks in upcoming videos. We'll also talk about, of course, the stadium deals, and we'll keep a close eye on that. We will report on that whenever any news comes in. So, okay. Again, thank you all for hanging in there. I know that the numbers have been down. That's fine. We'll get the numbers up. Um, Hopefully, some of you guys missed me. Again, I just appreciate you all for sticking with this channel. Hopefully, I'm continuing to improve. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to be back putting out videos a little more frequently than what's been happening. So just stick with us here. This is a very exciting time for our team, and I just love to be a part of it and bringing you some commentary, news, and whatever else for the Washington Commanders. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, give it a share, and let me know what you want to see in the next video. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.